Okay, how are you guys doing? Is everyone doing good? How's you guys' writing assignments going? It's good?
Do I have to review? Do I have to like feedback someone?
Do you need feedback from me? What is your question?
Do I have to give feedback to the assignments?
If you haven't, then yes, you will be assigned. But I will let you know. You don't have to worry about the deadlines for that. Okay? Alright, so who can remember what realism is? What is realism? Sorry? Life without a filter. Harsh, right? Alright. Now, I want to ask you guys, if life is so harsh when we remove the sugar coating, right? What's the point of life? Why do we struggle to survive when we're all going to die in the end? What's the point of studying if we're all going to die anyway? What's the point of working? What's the point of anything? What do you think, Luna? What is the point of anything if we're all going to die in the end anyway? Don't know. Ashley, what do you think? We're all going to die anyway. What's the point of anything?
I don't know, we're born to survive.
Yeah, it's very difficult, is it not? Why go through all this difficulty when it doesn't matter in the end?
But it doesn't make it is easy to die by ourselves.
No one says dying by themselves, right? But what's the point of doing something if we're going to die anyways? What do you think?
Having like a successful emotion.
Successful emotion? You mean being successful? But if we're going to die anyway, does money matter?
It's for our child.
For our children? Okay. But if we're going to die anyway, does it matter if we have children or not? We won't know because we're dead, right? What do you think, Daisy? What's the point of life if we're going to die anyway?
I feel like we came to this earth for a certain reason, so we have to like live our life to the fullest.
Did we come to the earth for a certain reason?
I think that like that's my belief.
What's the meaning of life then? What is your definition of life? How do you define your existence?
What do you mean by that?
Well, you exist, yes?
Yeah.
So what do you exist for? Why do you exist? Just is not the answer, right? So this is naturalism. This is a certain way of thinking. It's a mental shift in the way that we process information, right? I want you guys to imagine you guys are stranded on a deserted island, okay? There's no one around you, just you. Every day, you're struggling to survive. What's the point of living? To struggle more tomorrow? How about the next day? Or the next day? Or the next day? Or the next day?
Maybe the person has something that he or she doesn't want to lose.
Yeah? What are they gonna lose?
Maybe family, friends, or even their money.
Didn't they lose that when they got stranded on an island?
They can meet. I think they will live because they have a hope that they can meet that.
So this hope, this concept of hope, where does that come from? What literary movement does that come from? Romanticism. Naturalism is a branch off of realism. So, if we're being realist here, what is the likelihood that you'll be rescued off a deserted island with no technological equipment to call anyone? There's no way or likelihood that a plane will fly over and will see you, right? So what's the likelihood that your life will progress from this point forward? You will continue to live until you die on that island. No one will save you. Does that make sense? It's very bleak, is it not? Alright, so I want to ask you guys, does your starting point in life dictate your future?
No.
Doesn't?
Yeah.
Does anyone have a differing opinion?
Kind of does.
Kind of does. Okay. What do you think, Daisy?
I think it doesn't, because like there's a like the term that you mentioned, like rags to riches.
Yeah.
Doesn't like dictate your starting point.
Okay. So we talked about the American dream, right? So, for most societies, is that the case? Right? America's a bit different than most other countries. Most other countries had some sort of class-based system. What do you think? Does your starting point in life dictate your future? Yeah.
That person could have been that person in the past.
They're both, right? Now let me ask you guys a question. You guys were born in a family that may not be very supremely poor or can't afford things that you like, right? But some people are. Some people are born into families that are farmers. Not necessarily the owner of the farm, but farmers who work the farm. What's the likelihood that they can afford your college? What do you guys think? It's a high likelihood? It's a low likelihood? What do you guys think?
No likelihood.
Low likelihood, right? Does that make sense? So does your starting point in life dictate your future? Yes and no, right? But this is the mentality. So I want you guys to hold on to this thought real quick while I process it. So, if you guys are gonna have a race, right? And you are starting here, but your classmate starts here. Who's gonna finish first? Classmate, why?
The starting point.
Good. Okay, let's talk about age, right? So you're both 10 years old here, as an example. And this is, let's say, 20 years old, okay? What's the likelihood that this person will get more money than this person? What's the likelihood?
33%.
Yeah. So, generally speaking, if someone starts at a farther point in life, maybe their father has a company, right? Where they can do an internship in high school to have job experience going into university and have a lot of job experience when they graduate university, which is easier to get a job. Will it be a low paying job? No, probably be medium, right? Because you're still not like a senior in whatever you're doing, right? So you would have a medium to high salary starting, right? At age 20. But this person has 0 job experience, can't get an internship because there's no any connections, right? This person will have to start their internship at 20, as an example. Does that make sense? So that means that they're gonna get something like low to medium, maybe medium, if they know someone, right? More than likely entry level. You guys got it so far? So the end goal of life is to get a job and then work really long time, earn money and retire, right? But when do you get enough money? When does your salary start to increase to be able to afford the things that you want to do in your life? Right? You guys ever wondered this? All right, so a fresh graduate out of university in South Korea, do you know how much they make? A fresh graduate at a university in South Korea makes how much starting out? About 2.5 million won per month. Okay, you work 5 years. How much do you make now? What do you guys think? 3. You worked 5 years, right? But this person probably started out at 3.5. Now they're like at 5 something, right? You both spent the same amount of time, but one person was more efficient, right? You guys understand that point so far? So what does that mean? I mean, sometimes where you start in life gives you a head start. Does that mean that it's always going to dictate how your life is going to be? No, you could squander all your time, all your effort, all your energy, and lose out to someone who started much lower in life than you, but still surpass you in either education, workability, skills, knowledge, etc. Right? It's just a head start. That's all it is. But eventually, you'll get surpassed if you don't keep up. Make sense? But I want to ask you guys: have you ever felt? Sorry. What happens when nature, fate, or society decides everything for you? What do you guys think? Do you guys think fate decides things for you? It doesn't? What choices have you made that were of your own choice, that wasn't told to you to do by society, by your parents, by fate? What have you decided lately that was not decided by those? Anybody? Why do you come to school? Anybody can answer this, guys. Just raise your hands. Why do you come to school? Christine. Why do you come to school? Why? Why? Because why? Society says, do it, right? You don't need a good education to grow food. You can put a seed in the ground, grow a plant, and you have food. You don't need anything else. You don't need money. All you need is food, shelter, and something that makes you have fun, right? So you can go live in the woods, grow some vegetables, eat vegetables, live in a tree, I don't know, hit rocks with sticks all day. Is that not life? It's the same thing. Is it not? Why do we make money? Selena, why do we make money? Why do we make money?
For everything.
Like what?
Like buying
House.
house and like car and like
Why do you need a car?
food, home.
You don't need a car. It's a luxury, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you need house, you need
Clothes, food,
food, clothes, and
like the basic things that can
what's a basic thing? Tell me.
put things
Like?
like living.
Like what?
Clothes, food.
Do you need clothes?
Yeah, I
Really?
need clothes.
You do?
Yeah.
Really? Why don't dogs wear clothes in the wild? It's a fair question, is it not? A living thing does not necessarily need clothes, right?
But isn't it
A
society?
living thing does not necessarily need clothes, is what I said. I didn't say humans
I
don't need to
like
wear
that.
clothes
It's
in
not like
society.
necessary.
Yeah, it's not essential for survival, right? Like housing or food,
It's
right?
like family. You
But-
don't need family to survive, but then it's just like,
That is also very true. A lot of these are. Is it an emergency? Okay. Right. It sounds weird, but you can get your clothes from the wild. You can hunt animals, take their skin, turn it into clothing. You can grow flax and make linen, right? And make your own clothes.
There's two.
No one says that you have to buy these things, right? Well, why don't you do it?
because it's hard to do.
Is it hard? I'm pretty sure you guys can learn to do it.
Because of society.
No, it's not necessarily because of society. Society says this is how you should act, but why don't you make that choice as a free will person to decide to do that? What do you guys think?
That is so embarrassing.
It's embarrassing to make your own clothes and live in the wild.
No,
No, you can make your own clothes in the wild. We're not saying that you have to buy it, right?
But it's so weird.
It's weird to make your own clothes. Why? Tribes have been doing it for thousands of years in Amazon.
I'm not good at creating, making.
Everybody's good at making things. It's a matter of doing it, right? If you had to either stay completely bare or make clothes, what are you gonna do? You're gonna learn to make the clothes, yes? So you will develop skills if they're a necessity. But in today's world, today's society, they're not necessities, so people don't practice them, right? But in indigenous tribes or very rural settlements, they tend to do this, right? They create their own stuff. Okay, so nature can also dictate some things in your life, right? What can nature dictate in your life? Why does a tiger kill? Why does it? A tiger kills to survive? Always?
To assert dominance.
Assert dominance, to eat, right? Alright, have you guys ever heard of the famous story, The Scorpion and the Frog? One person said yes, multiple people said no. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So there's a scorpion and there's a frog, and they're standing on the side of a river. Okay? And the scorpion wants to get across the river. So he looks at the frog and says, "Hey, can you carry me across the river?" The frog looks at the scorpion and says, "You're not going to sting me, are you?" And the scorpion says, "No, I'm not going to sting you." So the frog gets in the water and says, "Hop on my back." So they start to swim, they get to the middle of the river, and what do you think happens next?
Scorpion.
The scorpion stings the frog. And the frog, as it's dying, asks the scorpion, "You said you weren't going to sting me. Why did you sting me?" And the scorpion looked at the frog and said, "Because it's in my nature." And they both drowned. The end.
We both drowned?
Scorpion can't swim in water. The frog is dying of poison and it drowned in water.
So scorpion died as well.
Yeah, they both died. The end. That's a very bleak story. What does it tell us about it? What's the lesson that we learn? What's the lesson in the story?
Natural instincts.
Sometimes nature just makes decisions because that's how they are. There's a reason why you shouldn't put your face in front of an animal, even if it's your dog, right? Or your cat. Even though you love them, they have a feral nature inside of them. The same thing as humans, right? If there is a reason for that to occur, for an action to occur, it will occur. Does that make sense? So as humans, do you guys lie? Is it in our nature to lie as a human being? What do you guys think? Okay. So fate. Do you think fate has anything to do with our lives? Yeah? One person nods? Okay. What do you think? Does fate have anything to do with our lives?
Yeah.
Okay, like what?
For example, just as the example, it's like the way we were born. Also, it's how we're gonna live throughout our lives. That could be the example for fate.
So, because you were born in a modern society, you're going to live like a modern person, and that is your fate to become that type of person in the end. Is that right? Alright, cool. So, have you guys ever felt like no matter what you did, the outcome was already decided? Doesn't matter what you do, your outcome is already decided. Whether you act good in school, whether you act bad in school, your outcome is already decided. What do you guys think? Is it? Let's extrapolate the data of your lives. Junjae. Essentially, you are how old? 16, 15, 14? 14? Okay, 15.
Her birthday did
14, 15. Cool. So, if you are 14 or 15, what do you think the next 10 years of your life are going to be like? Should be pretty easy to forecast, is it not? What's it going to be like?
Go to college.
Okay, and then? Okay, and then? And then? And then? Yeah. Isn't your outcome already decided? It's not like you're gonna suddenly live forever. You return into a vampire and you shine in the sun like Edward from Twilight. One person gets to laugh. Okay, no one reads Twilight anymore. Got it. Okay, so if the outcome is already decided in your life, it's like knowing the ending of a story or the ending of a movie. What's the point of watching the movie? What's the point of reading the story if you already know what's gonna happen? What do you guys think? Dorothy, what do you think? What's the point of watching a movie if you already know how it's gonna end? Really? You like watching your life as it's entertaining as you already know the outcome? Do you want to pass? Do you want to pass it to a friend? Can you answer it? Okay. What's the point of watching a movie if you already know the ending? What's the point of living if you already know the ending of your life?
You don't know the middle part of the story.
Don't we? We just forecasted, right?
No, but the details.
The details.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want to ask you guys, do you guys ever wake up one morning and just be like, I'm not going to go to school today. I'm going to go to the forest and I'm going to become a forest person. I'm going to live in this forest and I'm going to use pine cones for things like cleaning. And I'm going to eat wild berries. I hope they're not poisonous. You guys ever just suddenly one day think about that? No, why? It's so adventurous. It's so spontaneous. It's so alive. Right? All right. So, was it fate? Was it bad luck? Was it society that has shown what your life will be like? If you were born in a family that didn't have money, your fate is completely different. Your life will be completely different. You will not go to college. You will not get a good job. You will not get married. You probably won't have children. You'll probably live most of your life working mediocre labor jobs until you die. Because you can't retire, because you have no money, because you work very meaningless jobs. Is that not fate? If you were born in that life, couldn't your life become like that? What do you guys think? Is that society's fault? Is it bad luck? What is it? That person wasn't born and said, I want to work a labor construction job for the rest of my life till my body gives out and I die. Do you think they were born and they thought that? Did they decide it?
No.
So, is our life dictated by fate? What do you guys think? Is it luck?
No.
Are you guys just lucky?
No.
Are you lucky?
No.
You're not lucky?
No.
You sure?
No.
You could be like that guy.
No.
I think you're pretty lucky, aren't you?
No. I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. All right. So today we're going to dive into a movement that is believed. Truth isn't found in feelings or fantasy. It's found in everyday life. Sorry, this is a typo. I will fix this. Naturalism. Okay. So what is naturalism? Naturalism is a literary movement that shows people as victims of forces beyond their control. We have no control over how our life will become. We have no control over anything that we have in our life when it happens. Right? What is the point of doing anything if everything is already decided? And you're going to die in the end. It's like living a character role in a story. Your role is predefined, the words are already written. What's the point of even acting? Okay, like heredity, environment, and fate. You grew out of realism, but it's darker, more deterministic, and often more shocking. Okay? Alright, big thing of text here. Naturalism developed in the late 19th century as a response to major shifts in science, society, and philosophy. It grew out of realism, but while realism focused on depicting everyday life honestly, naturalism went further, showing life as harsh and different, often beyond human control. The rise of Charles Darwin's theory of evolution in the mid-1800s had a major influence. So, right, survival of the fittest. You guys ever heard of this? It's just something that happens, right? It was the fate. They didn't get to choose whether or not they live or die. They just had really good luck, so they survived. They reproduced, and then that's how society developed, correct? According to this theory, right? So, if humans evolved through natural selection, then perhaps we weren't so different from animals, driven by instincts, biology, survival. Writers began asking, what if our choices don't matter as much as they think, right? At the same time, the Industrial Revolution had reshaped cities, economies, and class systems. Poverty, unsafe labor, slums, social inequality was everywhere, right? Imagine being born in the slums, right? What would you say? Your life is decided by fate? Was it luck? Was it society? Why is your life like this? Because you were born like this. Why does your life have to become something that you don't desire, right? Sometimes it happens, right? Okay. Naturalist writers used fiction to expose how people were trapped by their environment, whether it was a factory worker stuck in endless debt or a soldier crushed by a war. The growing influence of science also played a role. Rather than relying on religion or emotion to explain events, naturalism leans into cause and effect, treating people like subjects in an experiment. These writers weren't just bleak, they were challenging the idea of human exceptionalism. Do you guys know what human exceptionalism is? It's basically like, I can do anything that I want to do because I'm a human and I have free will and choice and I can do everything. No, you can't. Society says you can't. Fate says you can't. Your heredity says you can't, right? Imagine being born in Pakistan or somewhere in the middle of Iraq. What do you think your life is going to be like? It's definitely not going to be what it's like because you guys were born in South Korea, right? Completely different. The rights, the ethical, the morals, everything is different. Changes, right? Sometimes it's just fate, okay? So naturalism exists because it asks a painful but honest question. Are we really in control of our lives, or are we just reacting to the forces around us? Nature, heredity, society, and chance. Do you guys just react to things that happen to you? Or do you actually make a conscious decision on what you want in your life? What do you guys think? Is everybody following? Who is not understanding anything? You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Harold, you understand? Okay. So, do you think we're in control of our lives, or do we just react to the forces around us? Sorry? We control it? How? How do we control our lives? Daniel, how do we control our lives? Do you control your life? Or does society say that it controls you? Does free will exist? Does it? Does it really exist? What do you think, Ashley? Does it exist? No? Dorothy, what do you think? Does it exist or not exist? Kind of. What would happen if you decided to wear all pink from head to toe when you came to school?
Nothing.
Huh? What about all yellow? Some of you guys are like, I would never be caught dead in a color clothing that is yellow, right? What about no clothes? What if you showed up to school with no clothes, like a bad dream, right? What would happen? What would happen?
No clothes?
Yeah.
To school?
Yeah, like a bad dream. Like you woke up and you're like, oh no, I'm not wearing pants. Something like that. What would happen?
Nothing, it's a dream.
I mean, in real life.
Oh.
In real life?
Yeah, what would happen? Expelled, maybe be on the news. Be like, such and such student arrived to school without any clothing on. They were under investigation by authorities. Right? So you would never do it, yes? Which means you don't actually have free will. Society says you can't do this, therefore you actually have no control over your choice of actions. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so I want you guys to look at this picture. What forces do you guys think are acting on this man in the scene?
He's fired.
Look into the scene more.
He's
What forces are acting on this man?
Divorce.
So, force. What type of force? Poverty, heredity, circumstances, like that. What's affecting him? What do we know about this guy? Can you guys take a look at him? What do you see about him? What do you notice?
He's bald.
Yeah, it's a good one. What does it mean when someone's balding like that?
He's stressed out.
Well, that can happen, but this doesn't seem to be stress.
There's bad genes.
Bad genes, heredity. Somebody who's very short.
It's what he's
Bad genes, right? People tend to like taller people, but if you're really short, then it's not good for that, right? You just have bad genetics. Is that something that you can control?
No.
Right? Okay. What else?
He's sad.
Why is he sad?
Don't know.
Well, who's in the background?
A girl.
Okay, what's she doing?
She's mad.
Why is she mad? Think about it. Why is she mad?
Divorce.
Could be. Take a look at the guy again. What kind of clothing is he wearing?
Poor.
He's poor. Right? He's balding. He's poor. He's probably short. So why do you think the girl's mad?
He made a mistake.
She feels she made a mistake on marrying him. Yeah, it happens. People get divorced for those reasons, right? Maybe he was a really good athlete in school, but when he graduated and after they got married and then found out that he's actually really not that smart, can't get a good job, and they have very little money. Yeah, it happens a lot, more often than you think. Okay? So his genetics are not very good, right? His circumstances of money is not good, so maybe he wasn't born in a good family, right? Maybe he's not that smart. They're in a factory, right? Working a factory job. He's definitely blue collar, right? Do you think this is all under his control? Did he make a choice that decided this exact situation would occur?
No.
No, none of this was under his control. He didn't make any decision that was wrong, right? He seems like a pretty hardworking person, right? He just has bad luck. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you guys think he has any control over the situation? Or no? Okay. And, okay, we already talked about the heredity and all that. Alright, so you guys need to write a one-page narrative that shows a character caught in a situation shaped by forces beyond their control. Your story should reflect the core themes of naturalism: survival, fate, environment, heredity, and society, all acting on the character in a way that they can't easily escape or overcome. So it needs to be something that they can't fix, something they can't control, like being in a wheelchair. They can't control that, right? That's their life. That's where they're at. Okay, so you guys can invent a scenario on your own, or you guys can use one of these. A factory worker who gets injured and fears losing their job. Right? A young woman stuck in a poor neighborhood trying to care for her siblings. So perhaps the dad is a drunk and a gambler and uses all their money, right? The mom ran away, right? And so the daughter is taking care of her young siblings that are like 3 and 5. What can she do about it? Is she gonna let her siblings die? What's she gonna do? At 13, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You gonna work a job? Can't work a job. Society says you can't work as a child.
Rob.
Yeah, you'll probably steal something, or maybe you'll do something not so legal, become criminal, right? A man alone in the wilderness, unprepared for a snowstorm. So perhaps you were hiking and somehow you tripped, you fell down a hill, you got stuck by spraining your ankle, and now there's a snowstorm coming. What do? What are you gonna do? Okay? Or a mother that's overwhelmed by debt and bills are piling up, right? Rent's due, electricity bill is due, gas bill is due, food bills are due, right? Everything is due. Education bills from Hagwons and schools all due, but doesn't have enough money. What can she do? What should she do? Is there anything that she can do? All right. A soldier freezing in a trench, thinking of home. So for some of you guys, some of you boys in here, you guys will have to go into the Korean military in the future, yes? What do you guys think you'll be doing in the military? Digging trenches, laying in the mud, right? Do you guys like that? I definitely don't. I like a warm bed in my warm house, right? But do you guys get to decide that? You guys get to decide if you go or not? No. Society says that you have to go, right? You didn't make that choice. All right, or a teenager that's forced to drop out of school to support the family. Like one of you guys say, I need to quit high school because I need to go work a job delivering food in order to feed my young siblings or take care of my elderly parents or injured father or something like that, right? These are things that you can't control. They're outside of your control, but you do things. You have to live this life, right? So I want you guys to pick one of the scenarios and I want you guys to show it, okay? It's not about superheroes, happy endings, or wish fulfillment. Instead, focus on the bleak, raw, honest portrayal of life. Your characters don't need to be noble or evil, just real instincts, desires, and vulnerabilities. Your main goal is to write about a very harsh life of someone who has been knocked down by society, knocked down by heredity or nature. Okay? Does that understand?
Yeah.
Start writing.
And then write the result.
Sorry?
Result?
You're writing a one-page story about this.
Only a story, but
Yep.
like the way it came out.
Yeah, just a story. Okay? It's a narrative.
What is it?
By tomorrow.
Can we turn off the AC?
Can we turn off the AC?
That's that one. That one's closer to
You
the-
should sit right here tomorrow.
No.
You won't be cold.
It's here and here.
Okay. That was the wrong one.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone have any questions?
Hey, you take my lip.
You guys have 9 minutes.
Just what's like the theme, like naturalism?
Yeah, it should be based on something like that. You could imagine yourself in the shoes of someone who grew up in the slums. What would
Okay.
your life be like? You can write it based on the first person perspective.
Okay. That's easier.
these right.
What's the next class? Art. What's our favorite Spanish. What? Mitsu. I love it. I love Spanish.
What did you say again?
Oh, Mr. Connor. I'm so sorry. Mr. Connor, I lost my key.
No, you like Spanish? I like art too.
I can find it.
Press stop on the